Hi, I'm Fangs. Welcome to the shit show. Today's gonna be, kind of a hot take. I'm gonna be reading off of my phone, so if you see me kind of looking down, it's because I'm blind as fuck and I wrote a script. Anyway, today's gonna be a hot take. I don't really like doing too many rant videos because I don't really like being pissed off, but I'm just kind of at my limit here and I want to vent about it. So this is all like a matter of opinion, right? Like, if you want to tell me to go fuck myself in the comments, be my guest, boost my engagement, fight with me, whatever works. If you just want to ignore this one because you don't give a shit about anything I have to say or my opinions, also fine. I might have some like awkward cuts or I might sound kind of funky, but you know, script, phone, whatever. I use a script because if I don't, I'm gonna sound incoherent as fuck. And I know you're thinking the title of this video is like some crazy shit. Hold on. Hear me out. At least get like halfway through the video before you think I'm being unreasonable. I also know I've been away for a minute. I haven't posted a video in like fucking 5 ever. And the reason for that is because I've been kind of hustling my ass off. I've been unemployed for like over a year. So I've been trying to work my ass off and make money. Like, I'm so unemployed that I had to start my own business. So my videos just don't have as much of a priority right now. Anyways, personal stuff aside, first off, and I want to be very clear about this, I like to think I am the opposite of a gatekeeper. Um, I low-key clickbaited you guys, but still, wait, hear me out. Anyway, I love goth. I love goth music. I love DIY. I fucking love other goths. I don't shut the fuck up about any of this ever. I will share any piece of information, music, or weird DIY technique I have at any time, pretty much with anybody, whether they're inside the scene or not. Like a lot of us, I grew up super lonely, so I want to share, which is why I put out videos and other stuff on DIY bands. I did not have anyone to teach me about goth when I was younger. I didn't learn anything until I was a little bit older, and I had some friends in the scene who were either like a decade or more older than me who told me how things used to be. And I'm very grateful for that. That being said, like a lot of younger goths do not have that. They are stuck with the curse that is fucking TikTok. I don't know. I'm also just like not super satisfied that a lot of goth YouTube has turned into watch this Killstar haul, watch this rant video where I'm just, I know I'm ranting right now, but it's relevant to goth, okay? But like I hate those fucking videos where they're just like a reaction channel or a commentary channel, but they have goth branding. It's like, and then they don't actually talk about anything that's fucking goth. Like, dog, come on. So, I don't know, I try to put out actual goth stuff. It's not great, but, you know, we do what we can. So, with that being said, I genuinely and wholeheartedly believe that it's important to share information, skills, and like old knowledge of subculture so that stuff doesn't get lost and so it doesn't fucking die. If we were all dickheads about keeping bands, DIY skills, shows, and everything only to ourselves, our scenes would just straight up fucking die. Like, full stop. There'd be no goth, there'd be no punk, there'd be no emo, there'd be no J fashion, there'd be no fucking anything. We couldn't have shit, you know? So I feel very fortunate to have been taught about the subculture by older friends who could tell me the way things actually used to be. It's super important that we share what we know so that the younger crowd doesn't get all of their information from fucking goth talk, like I just said. I don't know, I'm sick of those fucking, like, look-alike dipshits who just post the most milquetoast shit, and then they to, like, the same 3 Sisters of Mercy songs. I'm s I'm so fucking sick of seeing it, dude. You don't even know. So, you know, not gonna be talking about keeping bands or skills or whatever to myself. That actually hurts the subculture. That's shitty when people do it. This video is not about that. There's this like recent trend where everyone thinks that goth and our subculture should be open to everybody. I don't think that they should be. I don't. I'm not going to pretend that I do. Because it's not for everybody. Not everything is for everybody. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're somebody who can't behave and be respectful in a subculture, you don't need to be there. End of. I don't care if that makes me like a meanie gatekeeper. I don't give a shit. That's just a fact of the matter, you know? Like, I remember my older friends would tell me, back in the day, if you were a piece of shit who didn't behave, if you were creepy towards girls or disrespectful, you just got your ass beat by you just got your ass beat by everybody, And they handled their own shit in-house, and now it feels like we can't really do that, and I'll get back into that in a minute, but people back then, like, had to know you were actually cool and that you were going to behave. Personally, I get annoyed by, like, non-goths in clubs who, like, don't behave. They're not goth, they're not punk, they're not anything, they just wanna be creeps, and then they're allowed in because, clubs gotta make their money. It's like I don't hate normies. Obligatory, don't hate normies. But I just don't think that if someone can not act right, they don't belong. They shouldn't be there. Like, I'm sorry, but if you're one of those dudes who defends those girls that we all don't like, who put on black lipstick and then throw ass to Rammstein songs, and you think that goth women are ditzy and stupid, and that's all that we are, and it's all the sexualization and all that bullshit, if you think that's all we are, fuck you, I'm sorry, but you don't deserve to be around us. Because you're gonna make everybody else feel unsafe, and you're gonna make that space turn into shit like it currently is. Online, anybody can claim any label that they want, and you can't really kick their ass for it, unfortunately. While I'm kind of on that tangent of like talking about kind of the online scene and how kind of nebulous it is, I want it on the record that I do not and will never consider the alt-right or dipshits who try to worm their way into our scenes to be acceptable members of the community, and I think it's a good thing to gatekeep the fuck out of them. Like, there are straight up a few goth acts that I personally do not support. I will never support them or consider part of the subculture because they're on this, like, absolutely stupid, bigoted bullshit where they're like some alt-right nationalist bullshit or whatever the fuck they want to be on. It's stupid. I hate those people. If you watch this channel and you're one of those people, I don't want you here. Like, I don't want people who are going to be pieces of shit, and make those of us who already feel like we're not welcome in this world feel like we're not welcome in our own fucking scene. Like, if you would make someone in the goth scene feel bad because of their skin color or their race, their sexuality, their gender, their social status, because they're an immigrant or anything like that, fuck you. Like, honestly, fuck you. I don't want you. I don't want you here. Like, I'm not sorry about it. Like, if you're like a Jake Monroe fanboy, fuck off, I don't want you here. Like, go back to watching fucking him and Tim Pool and whatever the fuck. You don't belong with us. It's like, acts like people like that are at least somewhat responsible for a lot of idiots thinking that they can just like waltz in and say some like fucked shit like, goth is white or goth is right wing. Like, who the fuck are y'all? You know? Those people should absolutely be gatekept and filtered. Like, fuck them. Like, if you're one of those and you want to fight with me in my comments, feel free. All it does is boost this video. And, okay, so this next one is actually why I wanted to make this video. Like, on the note of who I don't want in goth spaces, I'm gonna be, like, so fucking for real. I am sick and tired of non-goths barging into goth spaces, whether they're in clubs or they're online, and throwing it in their worthless fucking 2 cents on how we should be. And I'll say it so that everybody's clear about where I stand. Like, if you're not goth, if you don't identify with the subculture in any fucking way, right? Stop trying to tell us how to be goth. I am so fucking sick of it. Like, there's all this, like, philosophical shit that I'm not gonna get into because it's just, like, rehashing it, but, like, goth is a home for outsiders, and it was never meant to allow everybody in. Not everything is for everybody. Not every space, not every aesthetic, not every music, form of art, anything is meant for everybody. Mainstream society is not for us, and that's why we found community in goth the way that we did, and it kind of works that way for, like, other subcultures too. Like, I'm so fucking sick of people who have, like, main character syndrome and they try to make everything cater to their personal tastes. I'm sick of those fucking talking head influencers or, YouTubers, everybody trying to get their shit in on, what it is to be goth and what it isn't, and then they're not fucking goth. It's like, shut up. Your opinion doesn't matter. It just straight up doesn't fucking matter. Like, I personally wouldn't even mind non-goths in, like, our clubs or other spaces if they behaved and didn't try to tell us what was what, but, like, those of them that do not do that, I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them, just full stop, don't like them. For example, I see, like, similar happen, especially online, with, like, the Lolita subculture and, like, J-fashion spaces. Everybody and their mother will have an opinion on what Lolita is, what isn't Lolita. And then you look and then they're not even a fucking Lolita. It's like, why the fuck are you talking? You're just making noise. You know? Like, I don't know. I don't think it's a hot take to suggest that if you're not in a certain community, then shut the fuck up about it, you know? For example, and this is no shade or disrespect to emos or whatever, I'm not emo. I'm just not. Not my subculture. Not my thing. I understand them, because we're kind of similar in certain ways. But that's not my subculture. That's not my business. What defines emo is on their fucking terms, not mine. I'm not involved with them. I barely, I don't know nearly as much about them as someone who is actually emo would know. So my opinion on what's emo and what's not is fucking worthless. It doesn't help them. It doesn't do shit for them. It's just making noise for the sake of it and thinking, and trying to be, like, self-righteous or whatever. And I know there's gonna be people who are like, well, what does your opinion matter? You're a meanie gatekeeper. It's like, at least I'm actually in the fucking subculture I'm talking about, Maybe that doesn't mean anything to, like, everybody, but it means probably something to somebody. I don't know. Like, I really think that a lot of people are too comfortable inserting themselves into the business of others where they really shouldn't fucking be there. And they just end up drowning out people in that actual community. And God forbid one of their stupid fuck-ass takes goes mainstream and then everybody thinks, more shit about us that they don't need to. It's bullshit. And that's not to, like, say that, non-goths or whatever aren't welcome on my channel. They absolutely are. And I'm very grateful to have an audience that is broader than that. What little audience I do have. But I expect people to be courteous and understand that this is a channel mainly for goths by someone who is a goth. I'm not making videos, I'm not making art, I'm not making anything for mainstream people. And I think it's cool, don't get me wrong at all. Like, it's cool and I'm very grateful if you're a non-goth and you like the things that I put out. No shade at all whatsoever. No disrespect intended. But that's my target audience. That's who I want. And it's not for anybody else. Nobody else gets to have, like, an input on whether or not my content is goth or not, or any of that shit, if they're not, like, fucking goth. Like, I don't know, does that make sense? Like, I'm a niche person who makes things for other niche people. If it appeals to you, like, that's an added extra bonus. But if it doesn't, that's fine, get filtered. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have for this video. I am so tired of non-goths. They're like, especially the people who defend, like, this is why I made this video, by the way. Like, I've been sitting on this idea for a minute. And I know I'm kind of rambling, and I probably sound stupid. But, like, these people who, like, defend, the e-girls or whatever, I fucking hate having to bring them up on my channel. I'm not sharing anything more about them than that, but y'all know who I'm talking about if you know. And I know you know. But I'm so sick of people defending them like, oh, they're just picking a fashion. Why does it matter to you? Why is that so offensive to you goths? Why can't you just let people enjoy things? And they're not understanding any of the fucking problems that we have with them. Like, it's not necessarily that they do sex work. It's not necessarily that they like it's not necessarily that they like the aesthetic. It's that they use that to appeal to the masses. And the way that that comes back to us is that a lot of goth women get sexually harassed a lot more than what they used to. Like, you have fucking dudes barking at you and being like, step on me, goth mommy, or whatever the fuck. That's disgusting. I hate that. I don't think I'm wrong to hate that. I don't think I'm wrong to criticize that. And certain other members of that group will, like, also they fetishize minimum wage workers. Which, if you've ever been a minimum wage worker, you don't want that fucking smoke of people sexualizing you just for doing your job. And there's also there's at least one of those girls. She also pedo baits. Like, she acts like a child, deliberately. And you can be like, well, men drive the market for that. They do. They absolutely fucking do. They're a problem. But by choosing those niches, your hands aren't completely clean either. If you choose to make your bag by doing some fucked shit that causes fallout on innocent people who have nothing to do with you, you deserve criticism for that. I don't care, like, what fucking job it is. I don't like that you can't criticize sex workers in any context ever, because for some reason it's a sacred cow. And for the people who are like, oh, goth has always had those, fetishistic sex works type roots. Yes, it has. But the difference is, goths weren't out here pandering to the mainstream. That was a thing for us, by us, on our terms. Like, normies were not part of it. We didn't have people harassing us to the degree that they do now about it. Because that was like an insane thing. If you didn't want to take part in fetish culture, fetish nights, wear fetish as a fashion or do it as a lifestyle, you didn't have to. You still don't have to. If I don't know. Like, I feel like people don't actually know what the fuck they're talking about, and I don't know, maybe I'm one of them. But those are just my thoughts. I know this is a ramble. But I know this is a ramble. You guys should let me know how you feel in the comments, like if I'm cooking or if I'm just cooked. But anyways, this is all I got for you guys. I'll try to put out an actual productive video sometime, but I can't promise like a timeline. But anyways, that's all I got for you guys. I'll see you in the next one.